Hey guys, welcome to this week's Meet the Collection. Shout out to Matt from O'Malley's Morphs. What's up, dude? I know you actually watch my videos sometimes, and now we'll know if I don't hear from you. We're gonna go over one of my Sumatran short-tail females that I produced, one that has not been on the channel yet. It's possible I've pulled her out in a live video at some point, but she hasn't had a Meet the Collection. She hasn't been on an episode or anything. Her sister has. Her sister's the one I pull out the most, just because her sister's one of my favorites that I've ever hatched, so I just gravitate towards her. But this girl is just as awesome and great personality. I've already filmed the video before I'm filming this intro, so we get into a few other things while discussing it, including a new announcement, so definitely stay tuned and check this one out. Hey guys, so this is the female that I have here, Sumatran short-tail python that I produced. You have seen her sister on the channel, who's a little bit bigger than she is, and the reason for that started off in the beginning, where this girl wouldn't switch to rats for the first, I don't know, it was probably about a month now. My memory is so far removed, and you have to forgive me, I still have a crappy voice from being sick. So she wouldn't start right away on rats, and it took a while for me to convert her. Once she started taking them, she's done great and has really come along nicely, but it did take a little bit of time, and so her sister just had that extra head start of really hitting the bigger prey with the ground running, and it definitely made a difference. So they're closer now than they were then, but her sister still maintains that slight edge, especially because I just feed them pretty much the same. Hi. You watching me? They are very engaging snakes, as I always say. I always say these guys make really great pets. She's a little on the nervous side being out here, but she's doing pretty well. It's her first time out here this year that I can think of. And then on top of it, you know, I'm treating the mite thing right now, so she looks a little bit dry because I had to dry her out yesterday and give her a mite treatment as I cleaned her cage. So it does dry them out a little bit. But you know, she has water now and she's all good, but it definitely affects the overall appearance. But you can see, even though she's nervous, nothing that I'm doing, she's even really paying attention to me at all. She's more interested in what's going on around her. She knows that I'm not going to hurt her, so I'm just kind of eliminated from it. And you know, she's just checking stuff out, so I can move my hands around. You see there's absolutely no real reaction to what I'm doing at all. She's just minding her own business, checking out things on her own terms. You know, I can touch her, not touch her, doesn't really matter. I'm excited to see how much darker she's going to get. And before I go any further, I did say that I had an announcement. I have new merchandise, which will be linked in the description, for the Sumatran short-tails. Not her specifically, but Morticia and Voodoo Queen, who you can check out both on the channel. There's a nice picture that you guys voted on Instagram that won that whole little contest I had between the Sumatrans. And so it just got done. There's a couple of designs. It's the same picture, just, you know, I put a phrase on one and the other one without, so you can choose whether you want that on there or not, and go from there. So look at that, check it out. I love Sumatran stuff, so I know some of you guys have really been waiting for a Sumatran design, so now that time has come. So anyways, back to this lovely lady here. Obviously, wonderful personality. She's much more confident inside than outside, but you can see it's not shaking her at all. And that's one of the things that I like about these snakes, is that even when they are nervous, most of the time, their curiosity will get the better of them. As long as they trust you and you have that foundation, you can kind of push limits and do things. If you don't have that foundation, it makes everything much more difficult. But definitely cool snakes. And you know, you can see she keeps trying to get up here, probably because I am something she's comfortable with, so she's just getting as close to me as she can. You know, some people mistake that for, oh, she loves you. It's not that, it's just I'm a comfort zone for her. You guys saw that in the olive python video where he would go back and forth between me and the top of the tote two things that just happen to make him comfortable. And a lot of the snakes, when I take them outside, tend to do that. They'll bounce between areas, they feel comfortable, go out and explore a little bit, come back. Now, some of them are totally confident. Callisto, she's out. And the creek behind me, I don't know if you guys can hear it, I don't think you can see it, but she will dive right in that thing. No matter where I take her outside, that's where she heads. And once she figures out where that is, and they seem to have, short tails especially, but I notice it in a lot of snakes, they seem to have a real knack for water, even standing water. When you change their water in their cage, they seem to know right away and go right to it. I would say 75 to 80% of my short tails head right for their fresh water as soon as it's changed. So there's something that they just have a knack and know, and they sense something with that water, and I don't know what that is. So that might be something I'd like to dive into and learn about, and I don't even know how much research is out there. But obviously animals in the wild have to be able to locate water, so there has to be some system that they use in order to accomplish that, and I just see it with them. And like I said, Callisto has thrown herself in the creek on several occasions. Thankfully, it's only a heavy push down to like right there, so it's not like she can go anywhere. But I don't really want her in that water. Last thing I need, I don't know if snakes even get like Giardia and stuff like that. I would imagine indigenous species have an immune system built up for it, but you know, my sideswipe Borneo shorttail that's, you know, was born in the house over there, I can't imagine that she's really built to go up against something like that, so I try to keep her out of there. She's only gotten away and gotten in there on me twice where I grabbed her right away, but one time I was taking pictures, the first time I was taking pictures over there, and I had her along like a rock, and she just went right into the water, and I'm like, shit. And the second time I just turned my back for a second, and she headed over there, and I knew exactly where she went. As soon as I caught up with her, she had just gotten in. Why are you watching me so much? But yeah, I love these Sumatrans. I can't get enough of them. The babies, the most recent babies, are definitely the most nervous that I've ever had outside. If you put them down on the ground, a couple of them will actually strike. And you know, I don't know if that's just, I haven't spent a tremendous amount of time with them. Mind you, I haven't spent a tremendous amount of time with this animal either. But she's just older and, you know, seen me a little more, been out here before. There's just a lot more air of confidence as they age. So it could be that. It'll be interesting to follow up and see. But then again, Morticia is older than her, and Morticia doesn't like coming outside. Which I am going to try this year, and I will make a video for that so you guys can see how she handles it. But it's very interesting how much she just doesn't like it. I had one other blood python years ago named Cheyenne who also did not like coming outside. She did not react adversely like, you know, Morticia will get very defensive and very upset. She'll flatten out, she'll thrash, like she just hates it. Cheyenne would just like stuff her face into any kind of cover and try to hide. Like she just felt very exposed outside. Which was weird because I could take her, put her on top of the rack while I'm cleaning. I could put her on the floor in the snake room. None of that. Outside just felt too big to her. But Morticia is just demonic when it comes to outside just because it upsets her so much. So it'll be interesting. I tried to switch Morticia onto partial substrate just to get her used to it, and she panicked and she actually got herself so upset that she almost got sick. She started presenting with like, you know, minor signs of respiratory infection. I pulled her back off that substrate and she's been fine. So it's weird how just that snake just hates texture. I don't know what it is. And I was trying to think and do some experiments outside to see what it is, but now that she freaked out about substrate, I really think it's a texture thing, which was one of the things I assumed, but I also thought, hey, maybe it's feeling exposed or something like that. But the fact that in her cage that she's very content in and very happy in, that just having substrate on part of it stressed her out to that level where she almost got sick. And I mean, I put it in the part that she usually doesn't even go to just to try to get her to kind of get used to it, and she just did not have it. So it's interesting. Sorry, hit you a little too hard there. But yeah, you can see these guys just totally awesome. So if you're thinking about a pet snake, I think they're wonderful. Obviously, get them from somebody reputable and somebody quality, because with imports or, you know, stuff where it's a flipper and they don't know the background of the animals, you might be dealing with something less than desirable. But just wonderful, wonderful snakes. So thank you guys for checking this out. Don't forget to check out that merchandise. Don't forget to keep an eye on USARK, especially right now. There's a lot going on again. We're just in a constant barrage this year, and I don't see it letting up unless we really make enough noise where they decide that we're not the easy target we've been in the past. Because for the past 2 decades, really, we've been a punching bag. So we have to get together and make sure you guys are doing stuff. I'm trying to keep you abreast as best I can. You know, I've been sick, but still trying to do all that. So keep an eye on that. We did beat one of them back today, but unfortunately it wasn't a victory in the way that we think it was a victory. It was more so that they already voted on the other one and are trying to push that through and felt this was redundant. So everybody's excited, which, you know, I understand. We haven't had a lot of victories recently, but don't get too excited. We've got to keep the pressure on for this other one, because the other one's the bad one. Neither one of them was good, but the one that's still being pushed through right now is the one that's much worse. That's the one that overnight these people are going to become felons in South Carolina that are law-abiding citizens right now, but if this passes, they are now felons. So that one is no bueno. So we need to get on that right away. So I'm going to get this girl back inside. It's supposed to rain shortly. So we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.